It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 Dick, 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 go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series video teleconference ahead of Saturday's LifeLock 400 at Chicagoland Speedway. We have a very special guest today, the King, known as seven-time NASCAR champion Richard Petty, who this week is celebrating the 50th anniversary of his first official NASCAR start. Richard, welcome.
Glad to be with you.
You own some of the sport's biggest records, and your name plus that of your family's race team, Petty Enterprises, are certainly synonymous with the word NASCAR. What's the significance of this golden anniversary to you?
Yeah, it's just that I've survived 50 years, I guess, more than anything else. But, you know, you look back over the history and stuff, I come along with the history. You know, started NASCAR when I think I was 10 years old when I ran my first race. And I went to the very first Cup race they had in 1949 in Charlotte with my father, and I was like 11 years old. So I've been there ever since NASCAR started, basically, and I just come along at the right time to grow up with NASCAR.
Sounds good. We'll go straight to media questions for Richard Petty.
Thank you. The question and answer session will be conducted electronically. If you wish to ask a question, you may do so by pressing the star key followed by the digit 1 on your touch-tone telephone. If you're using a speakerphone, please make sure your mute function is turned off so your signal can reach our equipment. Once again, that is star 1 to ask a question. We will pause for just a moment to assemble our queue. We'll take our first question from Godwin Kelly with Daytona Beach News.
Hey, Richard.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Good. I pulled up what I think is the first race you were in, and it says here the Canadian Exposition Stadium in Toronto, July 18th, 1958. Is that right?
That was the first Cup race.
Right.
The very first race I ran was a convertible race.
But do you remember this particular race, your first race in the Cup Series?
Yeah, we went to Canada, and I was running around there getting lapped, and my dad hit me and knocked me in the wall, so I wound up in the wall, and he wound up winning the race, so wasn't all bad.
It got a lot better as the years went on, I guess, right?
Well, yeah, when he quit beating on me, I got better.
And since I'm from Daytona, you had a lot of success at Daytona. Can you just talk about that and how it impacted your career overall? Really,
I grew up with Daytona. Okay, the very first 500 they run was 1959. That was, I think I'd run Darlington, but there wasn't that many super speedways. So we went to Daytona to run the race, and you know, it wound up being really great for my career from the standpoint that Daytona was just getting started. I was just getting started, and as Daytona grew, I was fortunate enough to win some races there, and I grew with it. And I always said about Daytona was, when you win Daytona, you're a winner all year long, whether you run any more races or not. So everywhere you went, you was introduced as a Daytona 500 winner, and that just made it work really, really good for me. And like I say, as I was able to win races, win championships, I was still winning some Daytona races, and it just grew together. So I think the history of Daytona and Richard Petty kind of go side by side.
All right. Well, thank you, Richard.
We'll now hear from David Newton with ESPN.com.
Hey, Richard, how you doing? Congratulations on making it through 50 years. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about Kyle Busch. He's won 6 races already right now and on a pace to win double digits. You did that a few times in your career. Can you talk about what it's like when you get on a roll, when you're winning 10, 11, 12, 13 or more races in a year?
You know, you get on a roll and you wonder, where was you at last year? You know what I mean? Why wasn't we doing that? And you'll get on a roll and everything goes good for a while, and then all of a sudden you're like Tony Stewart is right now. he should have won 7, 8 races or had a chance to win this year, but some things keep happening. I tell the story, 71 and 72, we won the championship and a bunch of races. 73, we couldn't win anything. And from the standpoint that it was just a bad year, we had the same car, the same crew, same engines, same engine people, had the same deal. And then we came back and couldn't do anything in 73. Came back in 74 and 75 and with the same crew, same car and everything, and won the championships again. So when you're on a roll, you just have to take advantage of it. A lot of times you don't know why you're there. You just know that working hard will keep you there, but sometimes it kind of slaps you down. I think we have to lose races from time to time in order to enjoy the ones we win, because if you won all the time, then it would get kind of boring for you and everybody else.
Is it tougher to do nowadays? I mean, there's only been a couple, I guess, since in the last 10 years or so. Is it harder with, I guess, the balance, I guess, of teams now to win double digits?
You know, yeah, it's been harder to do, okay, because you got to figure that the cars are running so much closer now, and you can't afford to get a lap down or 2 laps down. No matter how fast your car is, you're not going to win. And we had different circumstances at the particular time that we've done some of our stuff. And so when you look at it from that standpoint, there's nobody really dominates for very long. I mean, you know, like the end of last year, the Hendricks cars were just beating everybody, and you say, oh man, it's going to be terrible the next year because they're going to win everything. They come out, and I think they've won, what, 1 or 2 races. So you wonder what happens. And they sit there and they say, what are we doing different? What are we doing wrong? But, you know, whatever role you own, you really don't know why you're there a lot of times. So you just have to live with it. And it'll go up for Busch right now. He's in that zone. All the planets are lined up or whatever it is, and he's doing his thing. And then it won't be long he'll fall off the hill and somebody else will take over the hill.
One more thing, you saw Mark Martin signing with Hendrick Motorsports for next season, so you got a pretty strong group there. What would it have been like in back in the day where they put you and David Pearson, Kel Yarborough, and Bobby Allison on the same team?
There's been a lot of competition, I know that, because they were very competitive deals, and as far as they wasn't team players. They was team players with whoever they was working with, Woods Brothers or, you know, whoever. But when you wound up, and if they had the same 2 cars on one team, it would have been kind of difficult for any of us to accept at that particular time, because the times have changed now, and these guys are coming in, and they're coming in as team drivers to begin with, so they look at it a little bit different.
So you guys would have had a lot of brawls back then, probably more than you had.
Could be.
Thank you so much.
The money wasn't there either.
We'll now hear from Skip Marliski with Chicago Tribune.
Richard Colon. Out of all your accomplishments, does any one stand out particularly for you?
Just being here, I guess. If you looked at all those wrecks and stuff I were in over a period of 35 years or whatever. No, you know, I tell everybody that when I won the very first race, I said nothing will ever be this big. But then you get fortunate enough to win more and more, and you know, over a period of time it gets diluted. So no matter how happy you are one day, you know, in 3 or 4 weeks you've done forgot about that, and you're on another kick. So I don't know of anything as one individual. The only deal is you just kind of clump it all together and say, okay, that's what happened while they was in this particular zone. And so really I don't think there's any one particular day that really stands out, or any particular race. I do know that, you know, when I sit around and talk about it or listen to people or whatever, the ones that got away are the ones that you really worry about. And you say, what, you know, we should have done better this race or that race. So those are probably on your mind more than the ones that you won.